We always maintain a level of preparedness because a lot of the natural disasters and hazards that we face can come at any time. Landslides, avalanches. We live in a community of many known and unknown hazards. This year, of course, we are all counting down to Yokaloops season, and we have been even more prepared, I would say. It's been really a full-time job of preparedness for many of our departments.
One of our close partners is the National Weather Service and the University of Alaska Southeast, and they have been key and integral in helping us learn and understand and develop kind of more knowledge about what the basin does and how it's influenced by all sorts of variables. That science has allowed us to better understand the probabilities of how the basin will release and impact the community. We have an emergency operations center structure, so that's based on the incident command system, which is a system for managing emergencies that kind of grew out of wildland fires in California and the Southwest and West Coast that's been adopted nationally. This time around, we're operating what's called a unified command, which is a little bit of a different structure than we've done in the past, which is kind of like a single command system, but we're doing a unified command system this time in partnership with Tlingit and Haida and State DOT.
Through that collaboration, we feel better prepared to not only mitigate the hazards that exist from flooding, but to better inform the public on what actions they need to take and when.
We're here to take care of our citizens and our neighbors. It's very important to us that our community is prepared, and then when the disaster hits, that they know they can rely on us. Tlingit and Haida disaster response really looks like pulling from across our entire governmental entity. That's going to be pulling people from our finance division, our Smokehouse Catering department, our Elizabeth Paradovich Hall. We've got an entire warehouse full of materials, whether that be pumps, water purification units. We also have heavy equipment that we're able to pull out if needed for debris removal, trailers, backhoes. And then really, I think the most valuable asset that we have to offer is people. In the neighborhoods, when a disaster occurs, citizens are likely going to see teams out there in their high vis, clearing debris, walking through neighborhoods, passing out food. Tribal emergency management is extremely valuable, especially in the state of Alaska. It's been very evident seeing the value of tribal emergency management as we're working together.
Part of our Emergency Operations Center, a key piece of that is called our Joint Information Center, right? It's the JIC, if you will. And the JIC is going to be operating off of a kind of a ready, set, go framework of communication. Once we hit the set phase, which is really triggered once the basin is full, that's when we'll push out our first emergency alert. So we'll push out an emergency alert that people will get on their cell phones. We'll hang up flyers on people's doors, door hangers that are in the flood impacted zone. And then once we're in the go phase, we'll push out more of those emergency alerts, and then of course it'll have a higher sense of urgency. Our evacuation notices will be based on a scenario where the barriers are not there. Because while we have faith in the barriers being effective and doing what they were designed and engineered to do, we are not counting on that, and we don't want our residents to count on that, because at the end of the day, while we have that faith, they are an unproven man-made structure. This is a large 500-plus year flood scenario, so we are not basing our recommendations on the HESCOs being in place. We're doing the opposite. If you're not already signed up for alerts, to please do that. So you can do that on our website, juneau.org. We'll be pushing out alerts as well through the wireless emergency alert system as well as the emergency alert system. But the systems aren't perfect, right? And so we really also ask that people sign into our opt-in alerts to make sure that they get the information that they need.
Protection of life is the most important thing. In last year's event, we had a lot of people who just weren't anticipating their neighborhoods to be flooded, even though the inundation maps did reflect that. And that's why we saw people coming in at 1 o'clock in the morning to our emergency shelter, soaking wet. And we are so very lucky that we did not have any loss of life. Even, one injury or incident is unacceptable. And so we really are asking people to evacuate.
Floodwaters can be swift, they can be murky, and they can be very strong. We encourage people to not enter floodwaters and to evacuate in a timely manner before the floodwaters have reached their neighborhood.